Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name's Artie with CoinCasso, and this is Bitcoin Today, a show where we talk about everything cryptocurrency. In today's video, we're going to talk about how Bitcoin is still up 30% over the year despite a bumpy week. The number of investors holding at least 0.1 Bitcoin are very high, and Ethereum options open interest up 315%. We also go over the current top cryptocurrency prices as well as a brief analysis on Bitcoin. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, June 15th. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me every single day. And if you're new here and you like what you see, consider subscribing down below and ticking that notification bell to get notified every time we upload a new video. And as always, the show is sponsored by CoinCasso. So if you are currently unsatisfied with your cryptocurrency exchange, consider checking out CoinCasso in the link in the description below for a $35 sign-up bonus. Let's jump right into the top cryptocurrency prices. Bitcoin is currently sitting at $9,157.28, down 3.1% in the last 24 hours. Ethereum also took a hard hit, down 5.01% at $225.51. EOS down 3.07% at $2.51. And Litecoin down 4% at $42.90. Now let's jump into TradingView and do a quick analysis on Bitcoin. As you can see here, this is the March 12th bottom of Bitcoin, and ever since then, even though we've had some big ups and downs, we've been on this nice upwards climb. Recently, I've been really worried about Bitcoin breaking through these barriers, and it did just that over the last few days, breaking through the lower support of this ascending channel, as well as breaking through Bitcoin's most consistent price sitting at 9,300. Let's take it in even closer and see exactly what I'm talking about. So as the US stock markets went down nearly 7% in value in one day, the price of Bitcoin followed suit and dropped all the way down to nearly $9,000. It did immediately come back up to that average Bitcoin price of 9,300, which was a good sign showing Bitcoin's resilience, but in the last 24 hours, it did drop down below that $9,300 mark and has been diving ever since. Now, if you're wondering where bottom's going to be, I believe it might be this $8,700 mark right here. I've been talking about this for weeks now. This is actually the downwards trend we've been seeing over the last year. More specifically, if you take Bitcoin out to the last year, this is actually the downwards trend that we've been on, and this is the upper support channel. So Bitcoin currently sitting at 9,114 may see its bottom down here at about 8,700, and if it drops through that, then it's just in this game over zone. And in just a matter of seconds, it is currently dropping down. I mean, look at this number, 9,090. The issue that I'm seeing here is we saw this peak right here, and then we have a lower high, and then a lower high, and a lower low, and a lower low. If this price breaks below 9,044, then we will see another lower low. Hopefully the bulls won't let us drop below this $9,044 mark and will change the direction of Bitcoin. But even if it does, it's still gonna battle with this $9,300 mark. So if you guys are looking for a place to get back into Bitcoin, this might be your goal. And if we take a quick look at CoinMarketCap, we've seen $19 billion in Bitcoin volume, which is lower than usual. Now, because it's Monday, not much news was written about cryptocurrencies over the weekend because everybody takes the weekend off. So let's run over these cryptocurrency articles in about 2 minutes. This first article is titled "Bitcoin is still up 30% in 2020 after a bumpy week." At about 8 p.m. Thursday, Bitcoin was changing hands around 9,474. The price began to decline, dipping as low as 9,300 before picking back up. The price is well below its 10 and 50-day moving averages, which is a very bearish technical indicator. A day after, the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell gave a dour outlook on the economy, and then Bitcoin synced right back up with the global economy and dropped back down with the decline. Not only that, but when Bitcoin prices began to fall, liquidations on BitMEX intensified the movement, squeezing out long positions. Hourly liquidations hit 45 million as of 4 p.m. UTC on Thursday. Now, if you remember, about a month ago, Bitcoin actually broke off of the trajectory of the S&P 500 and went on its own course. With this latest stock market drop, we did see Bitcoin recouple with the economy and actually drop in congruence with it. So unless something major happens, I think we just have to wait until the market starts going back up, then Bitcoin will regain its upwards momentum. This next article is titled "A Record Number of Investors Are Holding at Least 0.1 Bitcoin." Data posted by Glassnode has revealed that the number of wallets containing at least 0.1 Bitcoins is posting an all-time high for both Bitcoin and Ether addresses. On June 13th, Glassnode showed the number of wallets holding at least 0.1 Bitcoin or more reaching a new record of 3,050,000 54,000, beating out May 21st previous record by 212 addresses. The number of wallets holding at least 0.1 Bitcoin or greater has steadily increased since spiking and falling as of the 2017 bull run, when it reached its peak. This is a good sign for Bitcoin because that means more and more people are adopting the cryptocurrency technology. This is also the FOMO mentality, the fear of missing out, so a lot of people are just getting in and holding it just so they don't miss the boat. And on to our last article of the day, which is titled Ethereum Options Open Interest Soars 315%. Are institutions bullish? Open interests on Ethereum option contracts surged 315% to 158 million. But are investors using derivatives for bullish or bearish positions? This open interest figure doesn't necessarily mean that professional investors are either bullish or bearish. In this article, it shows that nearly 20% more people are on the bearish side versus the bullish side, which means they're betting on Ethereum dropping in value. So if you're invested in cryptocurrencies and you've been in this space for quite some time, you know what's about to happen. Over the next week or so, we may see a very rough ride in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. I'm pretty sure we're going to see some massive drops in prices all across the board, but then we should start seeing a nice upswing because there are still people that want to get into Bitcoin, but the price is too high. So as it drops down, more and more people will invest, bringing the price back up. It's strictly going to be a battle of price and supply and demand. If you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up down below, and we will see you back here tomorrow.